I never had like a fear always. Like I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna get it done. I will find a way to get it done. When I was little, I was very much exposed to these the building things. My dad used to build planes, flying planes. So he was very. I mean, he never had the formal like formal education on engineering or anything, but he was able to buy these two-stroke, four-stroke engines, and then build all these skeleton of these planes, wings, and everything. And I remember he was going to these Vadumadu and then go and he tried to get these some wood that I think Albizia or something like that. I can't remember the exact name, and get this thin sheet of these wood and everything and build this plane. So I was exposed to these kind of things, and then when I saw my dad was doing all those things, I was like very much interested, being a pilot or getting into these kind of engineering type of things, mainly flying. So I was like really very much interested in get into a plane, build your own plane, sort of, and flying. That was sort of like a childhood. I think this was happened at a very early age. I was like 6, 7 years old. My dad was building all this plane, and he was an artist too. So we were very much into drawing, painting, and all those things. So I think these things like sort of like comes together, and then have these exposure to have a desire to build these planes. But then when I grew up and more and get to know about the things, there was a turning point, I would say. That was the I was introduced to this astronomy club called Subodhi, and there was a club named Astronomy and Space Study Center. So I was very young, I think 7, 8 years old, and then went to this Saturday program, and that was the like probably the best thing happened to me in personally. So then I kind of like found my found my career path. What I needed to know and what I needed to learn, what I wanted to be when I grow up. So that's where I saw that this astronomy club is very diverse. So you have students from age 6, 7, and you have high school students probably doing A levels and O levels, and then you have university students. Like it's a mix of all different ages, and everybody come to the same place and same classroom and same lectures and sit there and listen. Another thing that I really pointed out is that so the astronomy club that I was talking about, it was not just the academics. So this club was sort of like it's a life lesson situation. Like you learn a lot, not just academic, but your life as well. Um, because the backgrounds of the students and the seniors who are in this club is from various different backgrounds, and they're some of the universities and high school and all those things, and they're from all over the country. Some from Mahanuvara, some from Goal, some from Matugama, all over the country, and then everybody come together in this one unit in the Saturday program, and then the learning about different things, different the different things their interest, personal interest, and then this kind of give us a really rich kind of background to do many other things, not just the academics. It's like I remember we were like planning and going trips, going for fun trips and hiking trips. It's sort of like it's a complete person, right? This came from this astronomy club, and I went to University of Colombo, study physics. That's all I did. Really focus on physics and the mathematics. Then, as soon as I finished my physics degree, basic degree, and bachelor's in physics, then I went abroad to study again physics, doing a PhD in physics. But I would say that before I joined for PhD program, I was again really focused on this condensed matter, the material design aspect of this research field. So I worked with one of the faculty member in University of Colombo, understanding how this material, the conductivity, and the band structure, how these things work. So I try to get it like a theoretical background so that will help me to succeed in graduate life, because that's the career path that I really wanted to do. So that's where then I joined the Washington State University over there, and then really extensively study superconductivity under extreme condition, how we can use a pressure as a tool to develop these new type of material that have these remarkable properties. So I knew that condensed matter is the career path that I wanted to take because I want to build something that can impactful for the society. So the superconducting material, it seems to be the way to go, or at least it was challenging, and it was an unsolved problem. So even though it's been there for very 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 long time, and but I didn't know how, really where should I start. So when I went to join my PhD advisor, so he's a researcher who used pressure. He doesn't study superconductor, but uses pressure as a tool to change things and study material behavior, extreme conditions we call it. So he told me that when he would kind of try to recruit students. It's like you can make a new periodic table, like in ambient condition right now, room pressure, room temperature. You have this periodic table, right? But if you go to Mars, your ambient condition is different, right? It's not 1 atm or the 30 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius. It's different. So the state of your material, the periodic table, solid, gas, all those things can be different. If you go to Jupiter, completely different, right? And if you go to Venus, it's completely different. And then again, if you look at it, it's connected to astronomy. Like it's the planetary interiors, applying a pressure, you're changing how the molecules behave. That can have a direct impact to the astronomy as well. So this is like a perfect. So because I had this astronomy background, and it was like almost like a different pieces coming together. I mean, studying pressure that has an influence in astronomy as well. My interest, my hobby, my love of had the interest on astronomy kind of connected there too. And he was saying that if you apply pressure, you completely change something. It's like a magic tool. You have it, you're going to change completely. I take hydrogen, it's a gas. I can make a metal. You take xenon, it's a noble gas, doesn't have any interaction or anything, it doesn't react with anything. You take that one, squeeze it, you make a metal. So it's like a magic tool, right? So that was like, okay, perfect. So I'm going to use this as a tool to change how molecules and everything behaving or connected to induce the superconductor. Because superconductor, you need a certain level of structure and condition. So I can get that condition by changing. This is like the best tool that you can, and it's a clean way of doing it. Because you take a pure material, put it in your pressure cell, and you squeeze it. You know exactly how to control it. So then I really learn about pressure, how to do these kind of experiment. I never had like a fear always. Like I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna get it done. I will find a way to get it done. It may not be happening tomorrow, day after tomorrow. It may happen in 10 years, 5 years. That's fine, but this I'm gonna get it done. Like it was like failure is not an option. That was the always my mindset. I remember some of the people around me was telling me that, Ranga, you never give up, right? And I was like, yes, I never give up. I mean, why would you give up? If you want to give up anything, let's say something you want to do and you want to give up, and then what's the point of doing it, right? If you put your mind and effort to something that you want to do, you should get it done, and you should go, and don't never ever look back, and just go for it. So that was the sort of the things. Because I grew up in a very small place, very simple family. Had these, never had anything big, and we had a very small TV. I never even remember watching any TV. I think other than watching Kopi Kade, I don't think I watched anything other than that. But I was outside playing, flying kites, uh, making bow and arrow. Like we were very very much into Robin Hood back then. Very simple family, and then dream big. Now I am in the place that I'm building next generation materials. So I never thought that I'm going to do that at that time. But the things were, by the time, come to the, school level, A levels, all this. So I knew what I wanted to do. And then I was like finding a path to get there. So anybody can do it. one thing I really wanted to point it out, that I always knew my end goal. So I had a really the target to go. So I always focus on that. No matter whatever the other things come, your way, I always had these things, because this was established. I was 16, 17, probably even younger than that. So this is what we wanted to do, and then I made sure that I stay on that path. It's just, you just need to put your mind to it and then go for it. So there's nothing you can say. One other thing I really wanted to point out, that I never complain. I really never complain, because I felt like, you don't want to find an excuse to not to work, right? Because there is always a way. Because I think this is why my advisor, my PhD advisor, really liked me, because he comes to me and then he said, Ranga, here this, we have this kind of idea. We need to get it done, and that's all he said. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then I have no idea, and then you learn about it and you put your effort, and then you will fail more and more, and then one time, two times, three times, you will fail like a lot, but then there will be a point that you're going to figure it out, because more you fail, the more you're going to learn, and then you figure out, okay, here we go, this is the triggering point, this is the sweet spot that you want to. I remember my advisor encouraged me. So I was doing one experiment, and it's a very, very difficult experiment. So I failed. I succeeded the first time. It's great, but then we need to repeat it, right? Then I did second time, no. Third time, no. So my success rate is 33% now, right? Then I went to him and I said, it's just, I don't know, something wrong, and it's not working. It worked the first time. And he was like, why did you try again? If you work, your success rate 50%.